Welcome to the Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. Your host is a certified executive coach and trainer with the passion to help make the difference in the world. Your Life Now show brings you powerful resources and effective tips to help you manage your life and your business at its best. And now, here's your host, Coach Ria.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. You are listening to Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and executive producer, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria. Thank you so much for being here. We are closing up 2021. Today is Thursday, December 30th. There is only one more day before we welcome the new year. Now, there is a lot of thoughts, and you might be, and we might not be in the festive mode. And I know we had a challenging year this year. A lot of people had some challenging year, including, myself. And, I realize we can feel down, or we can change how we feel so we can change everything around us. I know it's easy said, but it's time to feel good, real good. And you may ask why? Because something new is approaching real fast. Perhaps a new hope for a better tomorrow is in the horizon. I know it is. If you believe it, it is, or if you believe it's not, it's correct. We know that. So if you are feeling down right now, I would like you to give yourself the permission to shape up, stand up high, look up in the sky, and imagine yourself moving into the new year. Keep looking up and see your life in a new way. Celebrate this moment right now, and breathe it in. Close your eyes and anchor that image in your mind and in your heart. Give thanks for all the good in your life and all the blessings coming your way. This is the beauty of life. It keeps on moving and it keeps on giving. And it's your choice to get on the wagon of life and to choose what is good for you and to let go of the old so you can make room for the new. Try to recapture your child's sense of wonder and awe. You wonder what could be possible. Do you remember those days? You remember when life was so simple? When you were a child and you were always curious about what could be. Honor and accept your past mistakes so you can release them and move on. Over and next. Over and next. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we will highlight some of the things or some of the thoughts that we can try to alter it, or perhaps put a new way of thinking into the new year. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Thank you so much for being here.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Ria will return in just a few moments.
We are so excited about the new things we are working on to make Your Life Now radio show the place where you can learn and share your message with the world. For more detail on how you and or your business can participate and get involved, contact us at www.yourlifenow.info, and we'll be more than happy to share with you how we can help you and your business by sharing your business and your message with the world. Whether your world is local or global, we have great solutions and ideas for you. For more information, contact us at www www.yourlifenow.info. Again, that's yourlifenow.info. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Your Life Now show, where your life and your business matter. I am your host and executive producer, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria. Thank you so much for being here. I know many of us, looking forward to the new year, including me, because we know something new is always inspiring, it's always exciting, no matter what. So if we can stay with that thought, and we can stay with the thought that everything is possible if we allow ourselves to just move forward. I call it forward thinking. Well, someone else called it forward thinking, but I actually call it forward thinking in my own, way of doing things every day. So yesterday, there's a thought here, which I'm actually going to get into a joke to kind of throw you in something to think about. It's all about, thought-provoking, get you to think, so you can just allow yourself to think differently. And again, this show is really intended to be for information purpose and thought-provoking. So remember, it's your life, so why don't you live it your way? So question everything. So sharing thoughts with you as an expert and also as someone who really hopes to inspire positive change and transformation. So here's a joke. So yesterday I was at the post office waiting in line, and then when I got standing in line, I noticed that there's two people in the line. They're sort of not quite, in the right, I guess standing in the right way or whatever. So I asked, the person, I said, "Are you in line?" And she replied, "No." So my thinking is why are you in the line if you're not in the line, right? So we can just keep moving. But of course, I'm not here to kind of create, what I want to say is animosity or anything like that. I just trying to find out so I don't step in front of someone. And of course, when you ask, you always have an answer. So when you're ready to receive an answer, always ask. But if you're not ready to receive an answer, then that's up to you. So here's the joke, and then I'm going to get into my thoughts on that. So the lady behind me, I looked to her and I said out loud, I said, "You know what? You should always ask, right?" And then she smiled. I said, "This reminds me of a joke someone told me one time." And this is how the joke goes. And probably not literally, but it's just to the point. So there was a long line. And people kept lining up in this line and lining up in this line, and just the line kept getting longer and longer and longer. And then people were just walking out "What's going on? What is all this line for?" And then people were just "I don't know." And so this person who was curious to know why this line would keep getting longer and longer, he went all the way to the front of the line and asked the person in the front of the line, "What's going on with this line? Why is there a line behind you?" He said, "I don't know." Or she, we don't know who that was, but anyway, it's a joke, metaphorically. He said, "I don't know." And he said, "Well, then why don't you just get out of the line so people don't keep, piling up the line?" And he said, "Are you kidding me? I'm in the front of the line. Why would I move?" Here's our thoughts. Here's what I'm getting to. We follow blindly. Why do we follow blindly? Why do we allow things that doesn't serve us? Even this is a joke, but the point is, most people do follow blindly. They really don't think about their action, or they're not even present in this moment to realize what their action. And I actually put that onto practice. I've been studying this for a long time, not only, with NLP, self-talk, and all this information, and all this certification, and the study, and the teaching that I do. I can tell you that people always think, or not always, I shouldn't say always, but people tend to really just, skip by and have someone else make the decision for them, because most of the time people don't like to make decisions. And if you ask them about something, they are so general, they're never specific. So I always put that into the test in my own life, and I just see every time I notice that if I'm not focusing on something that I'm working on, I tend to do something else or not complete the task accordingly or not doing it correctly. So would you rather be, like I call it, what people call it, normal, because normal is really different for different people, right? So, or get lost in the crowd, or would you rather stand out and make your mark in the world? After all, what is normal, right? But another term of average or boring sometimes. So when it comes to the things that we want, make sure you go all the way and don't hold back. Try to harness what is within you to bring out true transformation. Make it a declaration from the inside and bring it out with your action. This is how you bring it out. Right now is the time. Try to stay away from the need to wait for something to happen to take action, or for someone else to help you or to make the decision for you. Michael Jordan once said, if you accept the expectations of others, especially negative ones, then you never will change the outcome. Again, I quote, if you accept the expectations of others, especially negative ones, then you will never change the outcome. So when you seek joy first, all of the growth that you could ever imagine will come joyously, I can't even pronounce this correctly, and abundantly to you. But let's highlight a few of the things that really kind of was really tough for a lot of people, and a lot of people say that 2021 marked as mental health, because, we know athletes brought it up, people start talking about how they feel and why they can't do and participate in certain events and doing things because of how they feel mentally. So it's a real issue, and I admire people who come out and just be themselves and talk about these issues. But what do you think, why do we think this happened, right? So we can try to avoid repeating this in the new year. So do you feel a sense of information and news overload? I put my hands up. I do. And even though I tried for a long time to minimize my exposure to the news and to all the negative information out there, it is so hard these days. I know I shouldn't say hard. It's so difficult most of the time to avoid it, because everywhere you go, you are bombarded by negative information, negative stories, negative news, and then everything that goes on from, having the fact that we've been living with this pandemic for over 2 years now, and then knowing that that's the subject matter, and then talking about all the negative things, but we ignore some of the positive stuff that happened. You don't even know what information to trust and what not to trust. And I call it, we live in the age of information overload. I remember my dad, I used to have a really very intellectual conversation with my father. He used to tell me, he said, news used to be very scarce. It was only the elite that have access to that information. Now we get tons of information, and most of it is false information or negative information or things that just kind of make things all doomy, gloomy, whatever. And that really contribute into our emotional, mental health as well. And being isolated, being disconnected, feeling, the competition out there. And it's all that not having that human connection, because let's face it, we are in our DNA, we enjoy being around other people. But unfortunately, most of the time right now, being around other people is just maybe going to add more toxicity into your life because of the way they think, the way they feel. But how would you deal with this? Now, on the other hand, we have so much information, and most of it saturated with negativities and some crazy stuff. I mean, I try to minimize my exposure to a lot of the social media out there. I try to post only negative things. I try not to read anything that is negative. And then, you know what? I always say, block and bless. If you feel someone is just constantly, trying to put that negativity in your life, block and bless. Bless them and send them away. Release and let go. Let go of what is not serving you right now. Did you know people use Google so much in 2021? Obviously, they've been doing it for a while, but just the insight is from Google Top Search of 2021. The company said the world search for answers about how to maintain mental health is more than ever before. Do you find yourself scrolling through negative news and endless negative news, and the world is dooming, and even actually people search the word doom with search more than ever. So what's the solution? I'm not here to solve world problem. I'm here to bring thought to what's going on so you can decide how to kind of navigate through this. But I think and I really do believe one of the solutions for maintaining mental health is to change the way we scroll and the way we surf through information. And be picky. Pick and choose. When you go shopping, don't you pick the things that you want? Why can't you do that with the information that is getting into your mind and your subconscious mind, and it is becoming the way that you know how things are? Be in control of how you choose to receive the information. Make sure you are in control. And not your phone, the app that is lighting up your screen. There was something that I wanted to share. So, be in charge. Be in charge of how you scroll information, how you receive it. And I think if we go to the 101 editing, there's like no editing. Everything is like out there, Everyone pretty much has their own opinion about something, and we're all entitled. But the thing is, when you make your opinions or force your opinion on someone else, it becomes a problem. Or, obviously when we think about the news and we think about what, first thing you hear when you come, turn the news on and all this negativity, like, why don't they share some positive stuff? So I believe the simple solution to all this is very simple. Just edit what kind of information you're receiving, and take what is good for you, what makes you feel good, because after all, you want to feel good. Isn't that right? You don't want to feel doomed all the time because the world around you feel is doomed. We can try to find that peace around us so we can actually put that peace out there so people feel at peace as well, people who are around you. So I really truly believe that simple solution is the best solution. And growth and success rarely comes from overcoming difficulties. It comes from finding the simple way. And one more thing about ourselves. These are the things I want you to think about when you're going into the new year. We're going to have a great year ahead. because I say so for my life and my business, and that's how I look at it. I declare it to be. But one thing we have to really realize, when we hold on tightly to a part of our life that is not working, there is no room to heal. So we just kind of repeat the cycle, and then people put, you hear me talking about in the beginning of the year about New Year's resolutions. I am not a fan of it. You can set yourself goals, attainable goals, that you really know how exactly what you want and how to achieve them. Make them simple, make it attainable. So whether you are unhappy with your love life, finances, career, home, or health, let go. Let go of the things that are not working for you. How do you know what is not working for you? Make a list. Make a list of the things that you feel they are working for you and a list that they are not. Appreciate, like you heard me before saying, honor and accept your mistakes. Don't dwell on them over and that. So because when we hang on to those aspects of our life that are not working for us, we feel stuck. What if I can't find someone? Or what if I can't find something better? And da 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 da. It's always like excuses, excuses. That's all I hear. Excuses, excuses. They could be legit excuses for you. You always say, hey, that's my excuse and you can't tell me otherwise. And I'm not here to tell you either way. I'm just bringing out information that I would hope to be of service to you. If you are willing to open your hands, your heart, your mind, and free the situation, let it go. It can either be healed and come back to you healed, or it can be replaced by something better. Affirm that you are willing to open your mind and your heart and allow the situation to be freed. And one of the two situations will occur. Either it will be washed away from your life or replaced by something better. But you have to take that action, that mental action, to want it to be removed from your life if it's not working, or replace it by something better. And one of the things that I find it to be, I used to people always say, you're such a control freak. There's a lot of us out there, and as strong women, I was in corporate, and I needed to have that control, because I felt like I needed to prove myself constantly for many reasons. I don't want to go into it right now. As a woman, and as an American immigrant with accent at that time, and proving myself, and constantly having people take me seriously, not just look at me as a person, as a superficial person, as a smart person who's here to deliver what you ask for. So try not to control the outcome of your troubling situation. Let go. So if you are ready for something new and exciting in 2022, try to position yourself and your business for success. Are you ready to move forward? Be mindful and take the necessary action steps to succeed in 2022? If your answer is yes, I would like to offer you the tools to help you position yourself and your business for success. If you are ready to shine in 2022, and I hope you say yes to Incredible You and get ready to make it your best year ever, we'll take it one step at a time. So I would like to invite you to register by contacting me on the website at yourlifenow.info by January 15, 2022. And you can use the word in the note, yes, to receive a free personal or business evaluation. If you're ready, go to this site. We're going to take a short break, And when we come back, we will continue with our today's show. Yay, yay, yay. Something new in the horizon. So excited. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here.
Your Life Now radio show with Coach Ria will return in just a few moments.
Welcome back, everyone. Your host, Coach Ria Wilkie. Thank you so much for being here. We are closing 2021 and mentally getting ready for an amazing 2022. So I was actually just Googled some of the best things that happen, or things that are good things that happen, since everybody just shares the bad things. I wanted to try to see what are some of the good things that happen in 2021. So I'm not gonna list them all, because it's like here it says there's 21 things that made the world a better place in 2021, and this is from Wired.com. Anyhow, so again, these information I'm not sharing, specific, but we'll say, we had COVID has been on everybody's mind. So obviously the vaccine, it was a huge thing that made people's life better. Regardless that we're still, going through it, but that's something good. So scientists, this is a good one. If you like cheese, I like this one. It says scientists revealed that cheese isn't bad for you. Really? Okay then, I don't know. I like cheese, growing up in France and being exposed to different, culture here. Cheese was definitely one of the best things that we used to always have. So actually, I'm trying to see here, why is it says, but here, you can Google it. But anyhow, so that was one of the things. The Great Resignation gave workers their life back. If there is, we're going to skip that one. Oh, okay. Drones. Oh, this is good. This is some good stuff. Again, in science, drone helped us get a handle on plastic pollution. Wow, that's huge, plastic. I think, if you want to eliminate a problem, you got to go to the source. So yes, we all have to recycle and reuse whatever bags and all the stuff, but the company that is making plastic needs to make less plastic. Duh, right? Go to the to the root of the problem. Oh, and of course, if you're into computer and then you're into, human mind was wirelessly connected to a computer. Here we are. If you ever watch those movies, some of the stuff is coming to life. China eliminated, this is a world, good news. China eliminated malaria. Hey, hallelujah. And then Dutch bee hotels help bee populations remain stable. Yay. That is cool. I always wanted to do, have a bee farm. But then I'm thinking about, where can I do that? Okay. Anyway, NASA made oxygen on Mars. That's another one. This is all in science. Let's see. The world's first 3D printed school opened its 3D printed doors. Wow. Okay then. I know my son got one of those 3D printer making things. Let's see. Orchid. Wow. A thought to be extinct orchid was found on London roof. If you come to my house, you'll see orchids everywhere. I even introduced them to my mom, and they became her favorite orchid. And it took me a while to figure out how to get them to come back. And some of them do, some of them don't. I try to maintain it, but I love orchid. So to see, that to be extinct orchid was found on London roofs, I think that's a huge thing. Okay then, I don't know how that happened. Let's see, what else can we share here? Oh, Uber drivers, of course this is everywhere. Uber drivers were granted workers' rights in the UK. Now that's awesome. Let's see, what else? Electric vehicle outsold diesel for the first time in Europe. Yay! Renewable energy had a record year. And more great weird stories, I guess, that we shouldn't really have to go through all of them. But you know what? this is just like a fun way to just kind of like, break the ice from all the negative news and negative stuff. Bottom line is, my dear, is this. If you want or you choose to be happy, think about the things that doesn't make you happy and get rid of them. I know it sounds again simple, but I always feel like really practice is our best solution. I do it all the time and it works every time. This is how I studied and went to college and learned, regardless of English not being my first or even second language. Repetition. And one of the things that I can just leave you with again is let go of the things that no longer serve you. Again, block and bless. And not one more thing, but just again, these are all thought-provoking that I'm just leaving you with to just kind of get you ready to mentally, hopefully, be ready for a better 2022 or better year ahead. You are free to, remember that, you are free to express your true thoughts and feelings as long as you do it with love. As long as you know that you're not really coming out in a different way. I don't need to explain that. And if you feel trapped by your life condition, realize that you are the only person who's holding you back in your own life. Whenever you realize that you have the power to be free, freedom will follow everything that you do in your life by choice, and you are free to choose again and again. And I hope you have the freedom to choose, because this is the highest of freedom of all, is the freedom of choice. So when you're working on a task, try to complete that task from a clear mindset so you don't feel trapped. You can do something else that you love. I feel like I try to work on this all the time. When something is, I would say, don't force doors that are closed. If doors are closed, could be for a reason. Everything has a reason. Don't force it open. Walk through doors that are open for you, and then you have to be actually, present to realize if the door is open or not. But don't force them open. So here is to an amazing, prosperous, loving, peaceful, and blessed year ahead. I will hear you. I will see you. I will talk with you in 2022. Cheers. We close the year with a smile on our face and in our heart. We wish for the world for joy and peace. Yours truly, with love and gratitude, Ria Wilkie, also known as Coach Ria. And one more thing. It takes collaboration and mutual agreement to make the impossible possible. So go out there and celebrate who you are. Join hands and make the impossible possible. Live from your heart. Do things from your mind. And remember, when something isn't working, time to replace it with something that works. Cheers, peace, and love.